Alright, so what is this FX thing that Trimet keeps raving about? This video is going to be meant as sort of an introduction, as well as some of my opinions, and then I'll create a second part where we go over possible future lines. Alright, so before we get into what FX service is, let's cover some types of bus service that's common in the US. Well, let's start with standard bus service. This would be 40-foot or less buses traveling on a road with some bus stops and a timetable, and that's about it. Hopefully these buses serve some sort of transit center or rail station or something significant. And these lines usually don't run any better than 10-minute frequency on normal days. And some lines, in fact, if certain transit agencies, many lines, don't have weekend service. Trimet is like 90% this. It doesn't have to be, and I'll explain in just a second, but yeah. Then you have higher capacity city buses. This is when you take 60-foot buses and have them serve your streets. These are for higher capacity routes, and so the routes run usually much more frequently than some of the just standard bus service. 10 to 15 minutes is usually quite common. Trimet doesn't have any of this yet, but they are supposed to get 60-foot buses for the busier routes here in a few years. I think this can go a long ways to relieving the overcrowding that we'll see where people are standing on the bus, which is not usually very fun to do. Then you've got express routes, buses that run on fast highways, expressways, and interstate freeways. Trimet does have a few of these, including the 24 over the Fremont Bridge, the 58 on Sunset Highway, although that's not usually very fast, the 79 on I-205, or the 96 on I-5. Trimet, and I'm sure other companies, also operate some sort of limited stop lines that go on top of some other busy lines. Kind of like Trimet's Line 94. It goes on Barber Boulevard, but doesn't serve anywhere near as many stops as the Line 12 on Barber Boulevard. I actually did a whole series of video on the 12 versus the 94 versus 96 if you'd like to watch that. Then you've got BRT service. What does BRT stand for? Bus Rapid Transit. It is not good enough to just buy 60-foot buses and call it a BRT system because, oh, it's higher capacity, we're gonna run buses more frequently and all of that. Yeah, no, that's not a BRT system. You've just introduced 60-foot buses on a route that previously didn't have it. It has to be rapid. It's in the name. Bus Rapid Transit. To do that, you'll need special 60-foot buses that allow passengers to enter and exit through all 3 doors of the bus and be able to tap their hop card or whatever on the readers at each of the doors as they enter. Also, if you have a bike, bring the bike into the bus through the rear door. These buses do not have bike racks outside because those take way too long to secure your bike down. These are meant to be fast. So board through the rear door and secure your bike on the bike rack inside the bus. And as you'd expect, the handicap ramp sits there at the front door, as well as the priority seating and the wheelchair storage areas. That's all as you'd expect. Okay, that's great, but what else makes this so special? Well, if you've been on Division Street over the last 2 or 3 years, you'll notice that it's changed a lot. There are now bus stations rather than just little bus stops with a little blue pole in the ground or whatever. These are stations. These have shelters at them, slightly bigger and nicer shelters, as well as screens that tell you when the next bus is supposed to arrive. And there are some strategies here to help speed buses up that are traveling on Division Street. Number one, the bus stops are a little further apart to allow buses to go faster between the stations. Number two, there are dedicated bus lanes so that buses can travel in them. This allows less traffic to be in that lane, again allowing the buses to travel faster. And number 3, traffic signal priority, apparently advanced traffic signal priority. The traffic signals at the intersections can detect when a bus is there and can help keep the signal green for longer, allowing the entirety of the bus to travel through that intersection. They can also shorten and end traffic signals for cross traffic going that way. If a bus is sitting there, it can cut off that signal early so that the bus gets a green signal early. Trimet claims that these improvements will be drastic enough to reduce the travel time from Portland to Gresham by 20%. The route is similar to the existing Line 2 division, but instead of using the Hawthorne Bridge, these buses will use Tillicum Crossing. This will mean that Trimet's Line 10, which goes over the Hawthorne Bridge, its route's going to have to change because currently it goes down through Ladd's Addition and all of that, but they're going to reroute it so that it serves the old Line 2 stops. Anyways, so this BRT line goes all the way down Division Street and stays on Division Street, clear down all the way into Gresham, and eventually serves the Gresham Central Transit Center and Cleveland Avenue MAX stations. The line was originally supposed to continue off to Mount Hood Community College, but if you want to do that, you'll have to transfer to a Line 20 up to there. Now, there are a few reasons why they dropped that portion to Mount Hood Community College, including a concern of competing bus service through the college. I don't fully understand, but whatever. You'll have to transfer to a Line 20 for service to the college. So, how is FX any different from BRT? Too many letters? Okay, there's no difference at all. BRT is what the technology is called, Bus Rapid Transit. Trimet is branding their BRT line as FX, Frequent Express. Buses will operate no worse than every 12 minutes, except during the extreme off-peak. And during weekday peak, some additional trips will be added to help increase the amount of buses. Although because of the staffing issues and service reductions that are taking place, that is going to be very, very, very minimal. One final thing. Would you like to meet me in person? Probably not, but I am going to be there on the first day of service on September 18th. I will be on, I don't know if I'll be on the first bus. I'm actually not sure how it goes. I'm a bit confused. Trimet has a countdown on their FX page that counts the days, hours, minutes, and seconds. And for some reason, the time ends at 10:30 in the morning. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know if that'll be the first actual FX bus, or how that's gonna work. I guess we'll get more information as the dates get closer. And as luck would have it, right after I'm done filming that video, Trimet changed their FX page. Now, it still says it opens September 18th, 2022, but it says there will be a celebration Saturday, September 17th from noon to 5 p.m. And down here it says free rides on FX2 will be provided every 15 minutes between noon and 6 p.m. Noon and 6 p.m., which is different from what this says. They will have 3 things. So it turns out I might be out both days, Saturday, September 17th and Sunday, September 18th. Not really sure what that's all about, but it says free rides on FX2 will be provided about 15 minutes between noon and 6. Well, I want to try and get that, even if it's unfortunately right at lunchtime, right at the time I eat lunch. But yeah, some things have changed. That was a tad unexpected, so just thought I'd throw that in this video. This literally must have got posted earlier today. I filmed these videos quite a ways in advance, and today's August 5th. So yeah, a bit weird, but I guess I'll see you there Saturday and Sunday. Not sure yet. I'll probably provide updates in the description when it actually gets closer to the actual date for what exactly I will do. But I will be there, right in downtown Portland, right on the FX buses. If you see some guy with these glasses on, holding a black camcorder, filming a bus, it just might be me. Yeah, it'll be crowded. Yeah, I'll be standing and recording on the bus, having to stand there. But I want to get a video of it on the first day, because several months ago I filmed a video that I purposefully have not uploaded yet, and it was a before video. And so I want to get a before video, oh, here's how the first day was, and then an after when the crowd settles down. If you happen to catch me on that day, well, I'll be riding up to probably the 82nd Avenue area, and that's it. I'm not sure if I'm going to go all the way to Gresham, because that's where my before video ended, was at 82nd, because I wanted to check out the Line 72 and hopefully get a hybrid bus, which never happened. As you saw, there was never a video of that, so, whatever. Too many things on my mind. Stay tuned for part 2, where I talk about more of my opinions and where I see FX going, as well as where Trimet sees FX going in the future line considerations, and where possibly to not put FX lines for various reasons. Join me next week for that.